Chapter 3. The air is thin up here, Clemo said to Jason. I have not been to Mount Skyborn since before our travels into the abyss, Jason commented. Looking around, the two saw the full city on top of the mountain. Dozens of houses and buildings were erected here. People were seen flying in and out of here by the dozens. The streets were crowded with hundreds of people. On the north side was a large, newly erected temple dedicated to Jason. The statue existed in the circular center of the city, made entirely of bronze. It was that of an ancient hero, once adored here, long before Jason was born. You picked up popularity fast here, Clemo said. I did not need to steal these worshippers, like I did with deity. The people here have been waiting for me since the original prophecy foretelling my power and eradication of either good or evil from the universe. They support me no matter which decision I make. Which one will you choose, Jason? You've already killed evil and good alike. The two walked as they conversed. Deity, the chaotic good god, used demons to destroy my family. Deity had to go. Guardian, the lawful good god of humans, will seek retribution for me killing his brother, though I am open to a truce. Sabin, the neutral good god of magic, will most likely remain indifferent. Killing Deity removed chaos from the universe, Jason. There is no color and everything is organized. You've placed everything out of balance. I wonder what the universe will be like if you kill Guardian. Jason stopped walking. I've already wondered the same. He shrugged, and they continued walking, arriving at their destination. The writer of my book lives in this house. We start here. Jason opened the door unannounced. Gerald, I am here. The name sounds familiar, Clemo said. Books fell out of the newly opened door. The room was filled with thousands or perhaps millions of books, from alchemy to history, fiction to non-fiction. This room and house looked like a disorganized library. Every wall had a full bookshelf, and stacks of books stood before every bookshelf. Stacks and piles were everywhere in this house. There was no path, as the room itself was flooded with literature. Jason? Clemo asked. Yes, I know, something is wrong. Gerald loved to read, but this is out of control. Even without my psychic senses, I can tell there has been an outside influence here. Jason walked in the room, moving through the books like swamp water. He was not phasing. We are going to need to find him before it is too late. Clemo followed Jason through the flood of books into the house. Gerald was my first teacher in the ways of the mind, Jason commented. Oh yeah, I remember him. He could shape change, right? He had a translobular cortex. If he fully understood that, he would understand that he could also shape and change things outside of his body. Amazing, Clemo commented. The two reached the center of the house in the living room. Get ready, Clemo, Jason said. I cannot draw my swords in these books. Clemo screamed, his insecurity and vulnerability. Jason snapped his fingers. Their physical bodies flashed. Clemo felt the restriction of movement from the books alleviated. Using his enchanted eyes, he saw through them. Am I phased? They floated in and around the books without touching them, but passing through them. No, we have slipped into another dimension. A space between the spaces. Be very careful, Clemo. Things lurk here that normally cannot see us. Clemo forced his enchanted eye to adjust, looking through the books. They became transparent by his will to his magical vision. Like what? Clemo's question was immediately answered by the arrival of a 6-foot-long floating, slithering worm. With lightning reflexes, Clemo pointed at it, teleported half of it to the other side of the room. The two halves wriggled about, dying before the two. That won't work, Clemo, Jason informed. What? Clemo looked to see the two halves moving on their own towards himself, ready to attack. Through the walls, dozens more slithered in, moving to the two. Jason waved his hand, releasing the light that destroyed all of them. Relax, Clemo. Those things are infesting this house. We have to stop them, the one-eyed swordsman declared. Incorrect, my friend. Clemo made a contorted face in confusion. What do you mean? Those things exist everywhere. To a powerful being like yourself, they are an inconvenience. To a god like me, they are nothing. I would imagine that a normal mortal would have a great deal of trouble with them. What is this dimension? It is beyond. We have work to do, Clemo. I can explain this later. Clemo scratched his head as the two continued to float in the room through the books. What do we do? Jason looked around. We have to find my writer. I can sense his powers, yet I cannot pinpoint his exact location. Where is he? What happened here? Both of those questions are answered by understanding that this is the work of Garyx. The Fire Lord? Jason nodded, confirming the identity. What do we do? Wait and stay quiet for a moment. Light extended from Jason, spreading out, covering the whole house. After the entire house was enveloped, it retracted, returning to him. This is worse than I thought. Clemo spread his hands out. What is it? These books are each a demiplane. Each book is a literal gateway into an entire realm. Gerald is in one of these books. Jason, there could be over 1 million books here. 3,723,902 to be precise. Clemo's eyes opened wide with surprise. I did not even think that many books even existed. Jason sighed, annoyed. Not by Clemo, but the situation. This is the exact number of books Corvus has ever had. Garyx has set up a time-wasting trap just for me. Should we even bother? Surely we find the information on what happened elsewhere, Clemo suggested. This is no longer about figuring out what has happened. I have to rescue my loyal worshipper, and Garyx knows it. What do we do? This. Jason grabbed Clemo by the arm, and a book with his free hand. The two turned into light that flowed into the book. Opening their eyes, they saw green grass and a bright yellow sun. We are not in the same universe if color is here, Jason commented. The two walked through the meadow. Jason, if you can manipulate time however you want, how is this a waste of time? Clemo, time for mortals and time for gods are not the same thing. As a god, I can rearrange and change time as easily as you can teleport. However, so can every other god. We exist outside of time. What does that even mean? It means that while your time can be scrambled and rearranged, ours is a little more linear. For example, Garyx can go back in time and kill my mother before I was born, but I would remain unaffected because I am a god. I could just as easily do the same to Garyx. The effect would be just as pointless. Clemo shrugged. This whole god stuff is far above me. He squinted his eye, looking around. What is that? The characters of this book, no doubt. The two witnessed a large tree with a couple sitting under it, having a picnic. Jason sighed. This book is horribly cliché. This is a romance novel. Do we have to live through this whole book just to figure out if your writer is here or not? Possibly. Jason levitated into the air, crossing his legs, meditating. A bubble formed around himself and Clemo. The sun set and rose at a fast rate. I guess this is the way to do it. After a moment, Jason opened his eyes. Gerald is not here. The two vanished. Light exited the book, forming back into their bodies. Jason looked at the book in his hand. The thing vaporized. Well, that's one down. 3,723,901 to go. Yep. Jason grabbed another book. The two converted to light, rushing into the story. Lisa and Jason. Jason, my lord. Lisa stared at her god, meditating quietly. What can I do? Opening his eyes, the new god looked at her. You are a true believer. You understand my quest and the truth about eradicating demons and devils. Lisa bowed. Yes, Lord, I do. You have died in my name. Lisa nodded her head. Yes, Lord, I believe in you. Then you will be my voice. Jason stood upright, pointing at Lisa. A beam of divine energy left his fingers, surrounding her. She felt her body changing. What is happening? She could not move. Garyx covered his eyes from the blinding light. You are now complete. Lisa looked at her body with full understanding of her transformation. Looking behind, she saw the angelic wings. Looking up, she saw the halo. And looking at her hands, she saw her body had been made anew. My lord, you have given me purpose. You will play a great role and serve as my direct emissary. She looked directly at Jason, proud of her new power and role. She opened her mouth to speak a question. Jason pointed again, giving her psychic energy. I understand everything. She fell to her knees, overwhelmed by the instant knowledge. You now understand all things psychic, just as I do. I have given you 6 gifts to which you have full understanding of. I need you to go into the mortal plane. Remain unseen as all other archons do. You know what must be done. The archon stood up, recovering from the change. Bowing to Jason again, she smiled. Yes, my lord, I will go and do. She walked out of the temple without another word and proceeded to one of the portals. After she walked out, Garyx turned to Jason. What were those 6 gifts? The 6 psychic components are now in her head, and hers to command in my name. You know, it took a great deal of surgery for me to put 5 of those in your head, and you just frivolously point at her, and with no effort on your end, just give her those. Jason looked directly at Garyx as he sat back down to meditate. You should tread more carefully. I have decided to kill you. You will not be spared. Garyx Kane will be the last fiend to die. After you kill Garyx, Loth, destroy the 9 Hells, Guardian, and Sabin? Yes. I wouldn't have it any other way, Jason. You did not create me, as you so boisterously believe. Garyx squinted, confused by the words. Yes, I did. You are Jason. Half of me is Jason. The other half is Alvaro Alisto, who has no affection for you. That half of my duality is ready to eradicate your existence entirely from this and every universe. Garyx said no more. He sat down smiling, accepting his current situation. Exiting the portal, Lisa walked into the city she was raised and died in. Varys had changed because of Garyx. By Jason's will, I cannot act directly. As Lisa walked, she saw several children playing too rough. They pushed and shoved one another. I know these children. One child pushed another into the water, laughing. Lisa stepped forward, determined to help. She extended her hand, ready to do something, only to stop herself at the last second. No, I mustn't. Why not? A guttural voice came from behind her. Spinning around, Lisa saw one of the skinny, mind-manipulating fiends directly behind her. So a servant of Garyx dares to talk to me. You do know I am going to kill you now, right? Laughing, the thing responded. Yes, it would be quite easy for you to do that, wouldn't it? Pedestrians walked around, unaware of this creature and Archon in the middle of the street conversing. Lisa turned her head, confused momentarily. Her newly acquired knowledge flowed into her consciousness, giving her the answer. He wants me to kill him here and now. This would give Garyx the ability to physically come here. Yes, it would. The thing confirmed her thoughts. You can do nothing to stop us. All that power, and you are powerless. I have always wondered why angels do nothing to stop evil. Have they always been so powerless? The thing smiled. I have never talked this long to one of your kind before. You either kill us or leave us. Floating to one of the children, the thing turned to black smoke, then entered the unaware child through the ears. Lisa jumped back with shock, witnessing the possessed child before her. She did the only thing she could think of doing. Rushing to the other child, she turned to white smoke and entered through his ears. Oh, you copycat! The demonic child shouted. I don't care, the angelic child retorted. Lisa puppeted the child to punch the possessed one in the face. He fell to the ground with a bloody nose. Standing back up, the boy looked at the other child. Not afraid to hurt kids? I think I like you are, Common. Damn it, Lisa made her child say. Oh, and naughty words, too. What else you got? The possessed child laughed. Lisa exited the boy, freeing him from her control. The white smoke formed back into her body. Pointing at the possessed child, Lisa screamed, How can I fight you? Frustrating, isn't it? The creature left the child, reforming its hideous body. This is insane. I have the power to topple mountains and evaporate lakes, Lisa fumed. The thing laughed, walking away. These souls are as good as ours. 3 Klemos. This might work, Magic said. I do not know how comfortable I am with might, Twinkle said. Anything is better than running, Gray said. The 3 stood over a newly fashioned device. Magic frowned. Whether this works or fails, it has already cost me one of my greater spells, leaving 10. I will have to waste another to start it. Gray hugged him. I believe in you, brother. Magic laughed. Faith is for the gods. Us wizard types live on certain or uncertain. How certain are you this will work? Twinkle asked. I am certain that we can draw him here alone and isolated. I will waste my 9th greater spell, leaving only 8, so that most of his power can be neutralized. Hopefully, in his confusion, the 2 of you can do your parts. Magic looked at Gray, then at Twinkle. I am activating the device. Give it part of your psychic energy, please. The 2 Klemos placed their hands on the strange box-shaped magic machine had built, allowing it to drain a portion of their power. With their eyes closed, the machine siphoned it out. Poor Titus! Magic cast the spell, activating the magical box. The box sputtered and spat out smoke, followed by a crunching sound. Good! It is working! Magic shouted over the loud machine. 15 feet in front of the 3 Klemos, red smoke formed. What is going on? The familiar red voice said from the smoke. Now! Magic screamed the order. Twinkle and Gray rushed into action with swords drawn. They charged on the left and right of the smoke, swinging their swords down vertically, hitting true, slicing off 2 of Red's arms. Oh, this is new. I have never been attacked before. This should be fun. Red laughed as he ran out of the smoke with his 4 remaining arms raised. Nothing happened. What? Why can't I? Red did not get to finish his sentence as Gray and Twinkle swung again, hacking off 2 more of his arms. Red attempted to jump back, only to be met by both of them behind him, anticipating his movements. They sliced off his remaining arms. Gray kicked him down. They hacked away his legs, leaving only a motionless husk. "You just wait until I regenerate," Red screamed. Magic stepped forward. "I have neutralized most of your powers. It cost me a lot. The other Reds do not even know where you are located. Now it is our turn to dissect you and learn how you work." Red's smile dropped, replaced with horror and shock at knowing these three Klemos had him, and there was nothing he could do. "Do you see that magic and Twinkle?" Gray said with a wide grin. "Fear," Twinkle said excitedly, rubbing his hands together. Magic pulled from his pocket a magical dagger. Bringing it close to Red's skin, he began the lengthy surgical process. Hours passed. Magic never took a break from the surgical movement. The three said nothing as Klemo sliced into his alternate. Periodically, Magic cast a spell to which Twinkle did not comprehend, and Gray saw the magical effects move all about Red. Halfway through the procedure, Magic took out a book to write down notes. The other two looked at the printed words only to see complex mathematical algorithms and anatomy notes that contradicted the laws of physics. Several hours passed by. Then Magic put the knife down. He turned to his companions. "I now understand fully how Red does it, and I am on the breakthrough of discovering something incredibly fascinating that the two of you are going to love." End of chapter 3.